The stockbook is a compendium of scientific advice on all the fisheries resource around the Irish coast. So anything the fishing industry are catching, the science behind that is in the stockbook. And it's used by the Minister every year at Fisheries Council in December, where they negotiate the catches that are going to be allowed the following year. So it's a really important document to give the scientific perspective on the state of the stocks and what can be safely removed from those stocks the following year. The Marine Institute work and have a huge number of scientists and technical staff, and they're engaged in collecting data on the fish stocks, the fishing vessels that are out there, what type of fish are they catching, where are those fishing vessels fishing, at what time of the year, and what's the catch composition. Then we bring those samples back here, put them into our computer systems. We also take some fish samples, remove a bone from the head that tells us the age of the fish. Now, when you have the age profile of a fish stock, you're able to say how healthy it is. If you've got a lot of young fish but no older fish, then that could be an indication of overfishing and the stock is under stress. If you have a lot of older fish and no young fish, that could be an indication that spawning hasn't been successful and there's no new fish there, no young fish to take the place of the older fish, so the alarm bells start going off. What we like to see is a broad range of young and old mixed to show you have a healthy stock. It's very important to coordinate all the data collected by the different countries. So there's an international organisation based in Copenhagen called the International Council for the Exploration of the Sea. And these hold regular meetings between all the different countries involved. So the ICES organisation has been around since 1902, and it's kind of a very important organisation for Ireland because it was one of the first organisations the Irish Free State joined in 1924, I think it was. ICES is a really important organisation for the coordination and collation of all the science we do around Europe to give a composite, agreed picture of the state of the stocks. I think the public should be really aware that those fish stocks on our resource are an incredibly valuable resource, and we have millions of tons of mackerel, blue whiting, horse mackerel migrating off the west coast to spawn. Some of these shoals are enormous, 19-20 miles long, containing 500 million fish in just one shoal. And you think of the great wildebeest migrations in Africa, these are on a par with that. The west coast of Ireland and the west coast of Scotland are hugely important areas for the life cycle of these wild resources, and it's up to us to look after them, to measure the resource and to say how we can sustainably exploit them. €1 billion worth of fish caught in the waters of Ireland. 1 million tonnes of fish every year by the fishing fleets of Europe. The stockbook is a compendium of the science that's required to ensure that those resources are sustainably exploited. Without the stockbook, you couldn't ensure that, and we would be negotiating without any science, picking figures out of the air. The value of the stockbook is it gives a starting point what scientific advice is saying about what you can safely remove from that valuable resource off our west coast.